Now to talk more about the election is our political analyst, Brian Sobel. Brian, it was the landslide that the polls predicted. What does this mean for Governor Newsom moving forward in his last year? Does this give him even more power for his agenda?
I don't know if it gives him more power, Frank, but it does give him a little pause. Anytime you're in a situation like this and you have to run a campaign like he had to do, you have to think about some of the reasons for that. But it gives him momentum going into 22. And so I think from that perspective, he should be pleased. But, you know, he was very subdued tonight. And I think one of the things that he's looking at are some of the exit polls showing that while people did not want a recall, did not favor a recall, they're still not pleased with everything going on in California.
Let's talk about the Republicans. They were crushed. What does this mean for them? And I'm still puzzled why they didn't just wait until next year and throw everything they had at Newsom in the general election.
The Republicans, first of all, are suffering from very poor voter registration across the state, Frank. And until they can build up their voter registration numbers, they're not going to be competitive. And this is a blue state, lots of Dems. And the Republicans have to really take a step back and look at a longer term strategy here. Things like recall and other ways of trying to remove somebody will not work. You have to do it at the ballot box, and you have to do it with groundwork, with Republicans who believe, and with candidates, by the way, who have a broad program, not these one issue candidates that the Republicans have been putting up for quite a while.
Well, so speaking of that, who do you see as the Republican frontrunner for the next election?
It's a very good question. We don't see anybody emerging yet on the Republican side other than those people who threw their hat in the ring, and the proverbial hat in the ring, in this recall. I don't know whether this portends that, as an example, Larry Elder has any legs to make a run legitimately for governor in 22. Same with John Cox and Faulconer and these other people that were on the ballot. But again, the Republicans have to search and find somebody who's moderate, who can go out and talk to Californians, much in the way that some of the other governors in the past who are Republicans did. But it was a different time. The Duke Mazians, the Pete Wilsons, people like that.
Brian, there were questions being raised by both Trump and Larry Elder even before the first votes were counted about whether the election was stolen or whether there was election fraud. Why can't they just admit defeat and move on? Are we looking at another year now of potential lawsuits and whatever?
The bonus, Frank, of an overwhelming victory, and this being a victory on the issue of recall, is that there isn't going to be a lot of argument. They're not going to get first base on voter fraud or anything else. Plus, I think basically most people have a great deal of confidence in the voting process. And so certainly in a place like California, that is not going to get any traction. And so to your earlier point, I think if Republicans are going to be serious in California, they have to find the kind of candidates that can obtain crossover voters, Democrats, independents, other people. If they can't do that, Republicans will remain out of business for years to come.
Brian, we appreciate you taking the time to talk with us. Your insight is always very interesting to hear. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome, Frank.